Oh boy, welcome back. It's another episode of the Josh Potter Show, and boy oh boy am I excited. I am going to be this coming week in Washington, D.C. on the 30th. That is at the DC Improv, and then going to be in Allentown, PA at the Emmaus Theater on the day after that with the great Tim Butterly. Can't wait for those shows, rounding out May with those, and then come June, we got Houston, Texas at the Riot Comedy Club, June 14th and 15th. Baltimore on June 27th over at Magoobies, the 28th in Cleveland, Ohio at Hilarities, and that's rounding out June. So go to thejoshpotter.com, get tickets, and I hope I see you out and about live. Other than that, joshpottershow@gmail.com is where you can send in all your articles, all of your videos, whatever the hell you want to send in. Music like Griff Parker here, whatever it is, joshpottershow@gmail.com. And today, a very special guest, first time on the show. I think she's so funny. I love seeing all her clips. I love seeing her at the Comedy Store. It's Sophie Buddle, everybody. Hooray!
Hooray! Hello. I also love Hilarities. Have you done Hilarities before?
I've only middled at Hilarities. This will be my first time headlining.
It is such a good club. I
One
really
of my
like
favorites.
the vibes there. Yeah.
Nick, the owner, is a fellow Greek man, and he doesn't let me forget that every single time.
Oh, man. The bonding for vague, similar ethnicities is crazy.
Yeah. It's very funny when a Greek person sees another Greek person.
Yeah. Do you know Manolis?
No. I know
any Manolises?
I know a Manoli. Yeah.
Manoli, of course.
Yes.
Manolis.
I didn't know. I thought you were speaking of a specific one.
I was, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Manolis Zontanos is a Greek comedian in Hamilton, Ontario.
Oh, I don't know.
Greek legend. You should look into him. I think he's moving to the States. He's like, he was taking care of his elderly parents for quite a long time. And I think one of them and one of them is in a home now. And I think he's still like visiting one every day. But then when that one, then he's going to move.
When my parents are old, they are out of luck. I'm sorry, parents. I won't be sacrificing my career.
Do you have siblings?
To do that. Yes, my sister will do it.
Well, that's the thing. If you have a sibling, I'm an only child. So of, if I forget Mother's Day or Father's Day or a birthday, then they don't get anything. Like it's a lot of pressure.
My parents are divorced, but they both live within 7 minutes of my sister.
Oh man, your sister's really taken on more than she can.
Well, she makes them babysit.
Oh, she has kids.
So it's like good. Actually very beneficial for her. In fact, when they divorced and they moved to separate places, they were about to move within 2 blocks of each other. And I was like, do they know that they're about to do that?
Be neighbors.
Yeah. And my sister was like, don't you dare tell them. Because she loved it. They could take the kids back. I mean, it made it so much easier.
No, the free labor that retired parents provide is really it's the next human trafficking case. It's like crazy the amount of free labor they do.
And my father
finally retired after a lifetime of working. Guess what? Now you're a babysitter.
My dad retired, but he still has a part-time job because it's that kind of situation.
My dad too.
And it's not like he retired out of wealth. It was out of like my body can't handle this job anymore.
Yeah.
So he has another job now, and I think he likes it. I think he likes his life of leisure, but he also remarried, and now his new wife is basically like, he's yours. You know what I'm saying? Like my sister then can take care of my mom because she's like alone, and then I can be free to live my life.
Do you know if your dad has a pension?
No, my father
I was just learning about pensions. I didn't really know, like I had heard the word before, but I didn't really know what it was. And I just listened to a really interesting podcast about like what pensions and 401ks are.
Yes.
Because I truly had no idea what either of them were.
I have multiple 401ks. I actually just got a letter from my 401k that's like, there's this much in here. And I was like, huh. But
Wait,
that
really?
was like my biggest one.
From what jobs?
I worked in corporate radio for like 15 years. So
okay, and they do that for corporate radio.
Yeah, it's like a regular, you get health insurance and a 401k or whatever with the job, but you get money. I mean, I made no money. So like the 401k is pathetic.
Yeah,
I mean, like I kind of was like, can I just take it out now? Because
no, that was one of the big things that was interesting in this like 401k explainer thing is like it was initially created so that like the top CEOs and stuff could have this extra tax-free account, and then they were like, we're not going to be able to get this passed unless it like works for everybody. And so that's how there was like this like genius accounting guy that like created it and created the match system for people with lower incomes so that it would be worth it for them, so that it would immediately grow when you put it in and gets matched. But if you can't afford to put stuff away on a regular basis, which is like most of the people that get lumped into that, then there's no real benefit, and then it gets treated just like an emergency fund. Like if you have like a big medical crisis or something, then you pull it out and then you don't get any of the benefits. So it's like everything in America, where it's like if you don't make a lot of money, everything that's in place to help you is actually not really useful.
It's nonsense.
Yeah,
exactly. And I love that we were talking before we came on here. Sophie is from Canada, for the record, and she's new to the United States. So all of this 401k and taxes and all these things, she's getting learned. I bet you know more about it than, I'm someone who's lived here my whole life.
Well, do you want to hear something so embarrassing? So my Canadian bank accounts got frozen this week.
Oh my God.
Because I wasn't paying GST tax.
What's that?
Well, it's only in Canada. It's like I collect GST if I'm doing something. Like if I have like a weekend stand-up gig, I collect GST. It's something that like small businesses collect.
Okay.
And I had assumed that my accountant was paying the GST, but I guess I had just been collecting it for the past 10 years and not paying it back. So all my Canadian bank accounts got frozen. But it's like now I have American bank accounts. So it's like, come at me.
Yeah, exactly. You're like,
I'm living on my USD now.
I'm putting it up in Chase Bank now.
Yeah.
Get bent Scotia Bank or whatever. I don't know.
I'm not with Scotia Bank, but that's a good pull. Good for you. I'm impressed.
I had to think of one. What's the other one? Rogers is a cell phone company. When I lived in Buffalo, I'm from Buffalo, so it's like basically Canada.
Yeah.
I lived very close to the border, like right on the Niagara River. And if I went to a certain part of my house, my phone would switch from AT&T to Rogers, and then I'd get billed like crazy.
Yes, for roaming.
International. Yeah, it's crazy. Just in my kitchen, I'm getting international.
You're like, I can't take calls. I'm in my kitchen right now.
Fix this? Yeah, no, if I walked to the other side, it would switch over and it'd be like, my bill would be astronomical. They finally like...
You have to bring your passport to go into your kitchen?
Something happened where they fixed it, or just like gave you some sort of... Maybe they put an eye on it or something, but it was only a few months of that happening where I was like, make this stop before they got it right. Were there any other... sort of like jarring things? Obviously you moved here in your adult life. Canada and US are different but similar in a lot of ways, obviously. But was there anything that was glaring other than like health insurance, which is an obvious one, but like what was like the most shocking thing about living here that you didn't know?
There's a lot of differences. Like LA specifically is so much driving. Like I came from Vancouver, which is like kind of, it's not New York in many ways, but it's New York in that nobody has a car, everybody takes the train to get around, and it's a really walkable city. And then I realized since living here and having to like Uber everywhere that I do most of my writing when I'm walking around, like especially like after a set, you listen back to the recording of it, you walk home, you have a night, like it's like that's my creative time. And so I realized here that because I haven't been writing as much since I've lived in LA. And I think that's what it is. I think that walking like keeps your brain moving forward.
See, I had a thing, like coming from Buffalo, we had no public transit, so we had to drive. And I drove there. And when I moved here, I thought, I'm moving to a major city. I'm only getting more blind. There's probably public transit. Then I got here, there's not really that much. And so
if LA had good public transit, it would be the best city. Everybody would want to live here. Yeah.
It would be amazing. I don't know how they would do it. Earthquakes and it being so sprawling, but at the same time I feel like I used to write when I would drive. Okay. Like I'm just like in this weird zen mode. I definitely recall writing tent pole jokes while being in the car.
100%. Yeah,
that in the shower,
like pillars in your set.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Like I'll be like, I remember when I wrote that and I was in my car or whatever driving. But yeah, I didn't know if like I've never been to Vancouver. I've only been on the East Coast side of things, Toronto, Hamilton, those types of things. But I wasn't sure if there was much, like if you came here and living here, there was some like wild shock.
Well, healthcare is crazy. Like I currently am out of my ADHD meds, and so I'm like scrambling to book a trip back to Canada because that's where I get them.
Yeah, you just get them. Can you get them like pretend, or do you have to like physically show up to pick them up?
I haven't found a loophole. I have to show up physically. It's a pretty cheap flight here to Vancouver because it's West Coast, pretty easy. So I did book one frantically last night because have not been able to focus. It's really not good like rationing your meds that you're supposed to take daily really actually affects you. Many people not brave enough to say, but it's actually not a great feeling.
I just, to avoid that, I just take nothing. I'm over here raw dogging.
Well, this
life.
is the first thing I've ever taken. I've never been on any kind of medication, and then this one was like, it became glaring. I also like needed glasses my whole life, and nobody ever tested my eyes, and so as an adult, I got ADHD meds and glasses, and I was like, the world's really opening up for me right now.
Yeah, wow, a whole new
I was
world.
wading through a swamp for 25 years.
Yeah, that's hilarious. It's like an artery being clogged, and now it's finally like grown or something. That's
imagine if all of my medical needs could be addressed, the things I could do.
Yeah, I'm just like, I always had the theory, like, as long as I don't know about it, it can't affect me. And then turns out it's probably the wrong theory.
So are you avoidant attachment style? Have you looked into
No, I'm an anxious attachment style.
Really?
I learned and that's another, I learned that through a relationship with a comic. And
name names.
I will name names later. This one I won't name names. But no, I've always wanted to, and I have, dated one that's like known, but I've also dated non-known ones, and I always think it's weird when they're like,
you're working the open mic scene.
When I was an open micer for
getting
sure,
some of that open mic pussy.
But like recently, we went out a couple times, and I liked this girl, but she was like, I can't date another comic, and I'm like, we never are at the same place, like we don't even do the same thing really. And she was like, I just what if we break up and we have to see each other? And I was like, this is dumb. We don't see each other now.
You would have to get so many credits for me to run into you again. Your career would have to explode for me to see you again.
We never are on the same shows, like ever.
Yeah, and it sounds like maybe she doesn't want to date you because you're mean.
Well, I didn't say these things to her. I just, in my head, I'm thinking these things. And then sure enough, the next guy she dates is a comic who she will most definitely see again.
Well, okay.
So I'm like, well, you didn't like me. You could have just said you didn't like me.
When I first started dating my boyfriend, we weren't even dating. We were like hooking up, and I said the same thing. I was like, don't tell anybody because I don't want people to think that I like fuck comics. Mm-hmm. And it's like, it makes sense for her. Like, it makes sense for girls to say, let's either keep it under wraps or not do it, just because you get lumped into this like, oh, now you're an option instead of an employee, or not a colleague. You know what I mean? Like,
I see, yes.
And it's very easy for a female open micer to be viewed as like a romantic prospect instead of a contemporary.
No, for sure.
And then it's also hotter because something's keeping you apart. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like every good relationship starts with like something that makes it taboo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this one was like, she's not even, she does stand up, but this one was an improv girl. So I thought I was doing like.
I mean, there's your problem right there.
I guess that's true.
Why you?
I do apologize. I do want to give my condolences, by the way, to the Vancouver Canucks. I don't know.
Why?
Are you a follower?
No, I mean.
Well, they were eliminated from the Stanley Cup playoffs last night. Mm. I bet money on them too. So I was also.
My condolences to you. I mean, I'm more of a Habs fan.
Oh, really?
Yes,
How did that happen?
I was born in Montreal.
Oh, okay.
And my parents are both from Montreal. And so that's just kind of
see.
I mean, they don't care about hockey, but it's like that. It's also, I went to high school in Ottawa, and Ottawa has a really shitty team, the Ottawa Senators.
Yeah, no, I hate the Senators.
I know at elementary school, they used to, on the announcements, always be giving away Senators tickets, like, and then nobody wanted them. Like, they couldn't give away these tickets.
What years was that, if you don't mind because I'm trying to pinpoint it to which teams.
I'm 29, so it would have been
10 years ago?
20 years ago.
Oh, 20 years ago, that's
elementary school, like
elementary school. My bad, I thought you meant high school.
No, they couldn't give away those tickets.
Would have been the 2000s. I thought they were like they were bad in like the middle of the 2000s. The Sabres had an epic fight with the Senators, and I'll hate them forever because of it.
Well, yeah, Ottawa sucks, and then everybody that's near Toronto is raised to like hate Toronto, and so you can't root for the Leafs. And
I hate the Leafs the most.
It's easy. They're easy to hate, then so Habs fan, easy.
Yeah, I mean that's a fun NHL team for sure. I don't know. I mean they're kind of like the Sabres now, where they're just like not good, but
yeah,
they're getting there. They had a playoff run in the 2020, I think it was. Well, we're already talking sports, so we might as well get into it, and we have a fun video in a little bit. Beep 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 beep. Beep 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 beep. But that's awesome. That I mean,
I like soccer too.
You like soccer, but you're so hockey's like not
Soccer is my number one. Yeah, hockey's obviously really big in Canada, but soccer is my poison.
So that's what I was trying to figure out. Like, are you somebody who had it like indoctrinated into you because of the culture, or did you follow it a little bit just because of like different things?
I think it's like how Americans view baseball, where it's like, you know that it's part of your culture and you know it's important to the people around you.
Right.
But you may or may... I feel like you only can really get invested in a sport if you played it as a kid, and I never played hockey. I only played soccer.
I would say actually in America it's changed. Like that was probably the case in the early part of the 1900s. It was baseball, but now it's football. I really do believe.
Football is fun. I do like football.
And you guys have Canadian football too.
CFL.
Yeah. I used to go up to Hamilton Tiger Cats games and get wrecked.
My grandmother's dad played for the Hamilton Tiger Cats.
No way.
Yep.
Legend. We got to get his jersey framed in here.
Yeah, Hudecki is the last name.
Oh, cool.
Leon Hudecki.
Wait, what years does that?
I'm not sure.
I couldn't tell you one. I can't tell you one Hamilton Tiger Cat guy.
No, you can't.
From when
Leon
I went
Hudecki.
To watch. Leon, was it? Spell
Leon
it
Hudecki.
That sounds like a Canadian.
Hudecki,
yeah.
Hudecki, like a Japanese name.
That sounds like a.
Yeah, I'm
Canadian
Japanese. So I'm
not clear. Type in Hamilton Tiger Cats CFL.
Did you put Hudecki? I can't see.
I can't see that small either. Hall of Fame inductee.
Wow.
Damn.
That's my grandma's dad.
That's your grandma's dad. Okay, so he wasn't playing when I was going in the early 2000s to Hamilton Tiger Cats games and getting blackout drunk. But we used to call it Hamilton Rock City because it was like a time machine going to Hamilton. It was.
I love Hamilton when
mullets,
you drive. Yeah, exactly.
Old cars.
Well, so my boyfriend's from Hamilton, and I've been trying to convince him to get a mullet, and he won't do it. And he said that it's like if he did it, it wouldn't be like ironic, like the way that like fashion people are doing it now. He's like, it would be too literal. We have furniture in our front lawn. I can't have a mullet too. But during the pandemic, I was cutting his hair.
Oh,
and I was giving him a mullet, and then he's like, cut off the tail, like stop. And so I would do it, but I was cutting his hair, and he would sit in the bathtub, and I would cut his hair so that all the hair would go into the tub. And so he wouldn't spin around; he would just do it on one side. So he would always have like half a mullet, like a comma. His head looked like a comma because I couldn't reach the other side.
He's got to get it. I mean, if that was my natural inclination, I would have a mullet in a heartbeat.
I love Hamilton so much, and when you drive over the bridge from Toronto, there's this huge like Willy Wonka looking factory with just black smog shooting out of it.
Hamilton is vibes. I mean, especially coming from Buffalo, it was like our mirror brother because like, you know, Toronto they say is like New York City.
I mean,
so
Toronto
opulent.
People say that.
Yeah, that's true. Exactly.
Nothing like New York.
Nothing at all.
And I don't even love New York. It's just like Toronto sucks.
No, I hate Toronto.
If Toronto has no haters, I'm dead.
I saw Jason Priestley in a Tim Hortons in Toronto once, and he didn't even look like he wanted to be there.
Nobody wants to be in Toronto. And it has very cursed vibes. Like when I'm walking around Toronto, it feels like it was like built on a burial ground or something. Like the comedy scene is fine, but the problem with Toronto is it's all rich kids.
Right.
Like it's so expensive to live there, and so nobody can afford to be a full-time artist and live there. Mm-hmm. And to me, the sign of a good city is if there's full-time artists living there. Right. And so it's like very futuristic. I have lots of friends there. I do comedy there, but it's like I think they need like an arts scene reboot.
Yeah. Something gritty to occur. Even going to the fucking Leafs games, it's like $6 million and it's all corporate idiots. That's why it's like one of the lamest arenas in the league.
I know, it's all finance
Suck
bros.
it, Leaf fans. They're going to write in. There's going to be a couple of them, I know.
I know, they're very empowered.
Well, have you been following any American football since you've been in...
I watched the Super Bowl.
And I mean, I don't know if you're a Taylor Swift girly or anything like that, but... You know, she obviously has brought attention to the Kansas City Chiefs from a lot of different people. And the Kansas City Chiefs are back in the spotlight again as their kicker, Harrison Butker. Now, the kicker is probably the lamest position in all of football. It
Correct.
Kicks the field goals. And I think it actually has more jobs in Canadian football.
I mean, everybody always laughs at the CFL, the Canadian football players, because they all have day jobs as well.
Yeah. A lot of them, dude, for sure. Like Doug Flutie used to be one of the best players in the CFL, and then he came back to the NFL. But he would he was the kicker and the quarterback. Like he would do drop kicks
in
and all
Canada?
this. Yes, exactly.
That's so. And he's like, and I'm a cheerleader.
Yeah.
They have to do it all.
Yeah, a lot of position.
They wear a lot of hats.
But in the NFL, the kicker is genuinely looked upon as kind of a pussy position.
I know, but in the Super Bowl, didn't he kind of win it for them or no?
Not in this one. He won the game against the Bills. Am I upset about the Bills losing to Harrison Butker on a couple of occasions? Maybe. But my point is, like, this guy...
Is the Bills like the Williams? Like, what's the logo
No, the Bills,
for the Bills?
It's, we're the Buffalo Bills, which was like the cowboy. Buffalo Bill, you know?
Oh.
He's an old cowboy back then.
I only know Bills as William or Buffalo Bill, like from Silence of the Lambs.
Well, yeah, then he came along and kind of changed the stigma about it. But there was like a name.
That's when they should change. I know they're changing all sorts of names. So funny, Let's change the Buffalo Bills.
But
nobody knows this man.
He's an American legend.
Yeah,
no,
he is.
Yeah,
especially
if you know anything about the Old West.
Nobody knows this man.
But we.
Why is he posed so like cunty too with his hat to the side? Cunty, I mean in a positive way, but like. I feel like people in that time were never posing, like everybody's just looking blank into the camera serious. This guy's got his hat tilted. He's got a thing behind his back.
A gun, I think. How long was he standing like that? Because they had to be like, you know, gadoosh, and then he had to stay there for a minute, right?
Yeah, this guy's
or is that a painting?
Working his angles.
The Bills were named in 1960, I think 1959, but they were like, there was a contest. What should the Bills be named? And like this one won, Buffalo Bills. But we just,
what did he do? What is this guy's lore?
He like murdered a bunch of Native Americans, I think, probably.
That makes more sense why Americans rallied behind him.
Why he's a hero. And then he went on to have a career in show business, mostly about how he murdered a bunch.
Did he really?
I did not know that. Why Americans
doing Wild West shows, and gun shows.
Oh wow. But he was like one of the tail end cowboys. I'm sure he murdered a bunch of Native Americans, and then he also was like, you know, rid the plains of actual buffalo. That's probably why he got the name Buffalo Bill.
I think we rename.
You think we should rename? I would be upset. I have a lot of clothes and hats.
It was originally called the Bisons, and then there were 3 other Buffalo Bisons, so they changed it to make it more original.
Now our minor league baseball team is the Buffalo Bison. But yes,
I do like minor league names
of hockey. You're saying, or baseball?
I think baseball is more what I know, but they have more fun with it.
Oh, of course. There's different wild names.
What's the it's not Nevada, but the one that's like a UFOs or something? Like there's a Nevada not little league, but the smaller
a AAA team or something. What is it?
The Las Vegas Aviators?
No. I think it's like, it's not Las Vegas.
It would be like
we're
in Nevada.
Space Cowboys?
Where did the aliens land in Nevada?
No, it's
Roswell, New Mexico.
It's the Roswell. It's the Roswell one. Nevada to me is Roswell, New Mexico.
Yeah, she's learning. It's all the same. It's like Yukon Territory versus Saskatchewan to me.
Roswell Invaders.
Mm-hmm, I like that.
Ooh, that's a good one. There's also like the El Paso Chihuahuas and like fun ones
look
like
at that logo.
That goes
I want
hard.
Some Roswell Invaders merch.
That goes hard. You should go down and throw the first pitch out for the Roswell Invaders. I bet you could do that.
Do they mind if you do it underhand?
No, you can do it like a softball throw.
I mean like bowling, like between my legs. Wow, that's
get your manager on the phone and have him get you over there. You have enough social media followers to go throw out the first pitch at a Roswell Invaders game.
Okay, Roswell, hit me up. I'll be there.
I had a dream at one point when I started this podcast that I would go to all these little minor league towns and throw out the first pitch and like do a show for 100 people.
Yeah, that'd be so fun.
That would be my dream, but I'm trying to sell tickets in the big cities first.
Is this a sports podcast?
I do sports on this podcast, yes, a lot of times. That's why also I wanted your take on this speech because Harrison Butker, the kicker of the Kansas City Chiefs, made a commencement speech. I don't even know where it was. It was
Benedictine University.
Yes, something.
Benedictine?
Yeah, which sounds very religious, I would imagine. A small Catholic school in Atchison, Kansas. Excuse me. So I wanted to play the speech because I've seen only snippets of it, but it's very like trad wifey, and I'm just curious what he has to say, and I'd love to get your take on it too.
Let's hear him.
I think it is you, the women, who have had the most diabolical lies told to you. How many of you are sitting here now, about to cross this stage, and are thinking about all the promotions and titles you are going to get in your career? Some of you may go on to lead successful careers in the world, but I would venture to guess that the majority of you are most excited about your marriage and the children you will bring into this world. As men, we set the tone of the culture. Be unapologetic in your masculinity, fighting against the cultural emasculation of men. Do hard things. Never settle for what is easy.
The man's a kicker, though. First of all, that's what's so weird about this guy being like, "Be a man and women and blah blah blah." And it's like, you're the kicker, dog.
That's so funny.
Your job is usually occupied by soccer players and Europeans. So I don't know what this guy's, but it's interesting. I don't know. I mean, people are up his ass now, and especially because he's got all the shine from Taylor Swift being kind of a parallel figure with the Kansas City Chiefs, and she hasn't made a statement about it. I don't believe. Why would she have to?
I mean, yeah, exactly.
Exactly. I would feel like people are going to be up her ass about it. Is all I meant to say.
I know, but people are up her ass about everything.
That's very
she's
true.
She's rich
Good
enough
points.
that she doesn't have to address every Twitter thing that goes on.
Yeah, exactly. I just didn't know if this would make for an awkward meeting in the hallway, perhaps, if they come across.
Is he allowed in the hallway as a kicker, or does he just?
Yeah, that's a good point. He's probably never even come within proximity of.
This is what I'm thinking. He's really. I don't know if he's met Taylor Swift. Like I don't think that they have much in common.
They actually don't let him in the locker room when Taylor Swift is like nearby. They're like, Harrison, you're not on the.
He's gonna go off about how she shouldn't be proud of her career. She should be excited about motherhood.
Yeah, that actually is the reason he's made this stance, is because Taylor Swift won't let him in the proximity of her.
I understand. It does feel personal. That's so interesting. So, I mean, they asked him to do this speech. Presumably they know where he stands on stuff. Like, they're going to have people on that.
Or maybe they just had him because it's like, you're a professional football player. Do you have something inspirational to say to the...
He's like, yes, get pregnant. ASAP.
Yeah. I especially have a message for the women. I'd love to be a trad husband. God, I'd just love to be the one that's like, I get to stay home. I get to...
I mean, trad is for traditional, though, so that would mean you would have to work.
It would be the untrad, the reverse.
You would have to be an alt husband.
Alt husband, there you go. I would be the one that he is like sneering about. He would hate my guts.
You're just wearing an apron.
Yes. Oh my God, how much I'd love that. I'd figure out how to cook. I know how to make 3 things. We can expand.
What do you
from
make?
there.
What are your 3 dishes?
I do eggs. I do baked potato. I've been on a real baked potato tear.
That's nice. You just put it in the oven for
now I have an air fryer.
3 hours. Oh yeah.
No, air fryer.
Baked potatoes take
down.
so long in the oven.
I've learned how to economize the time of a baked potato.
My favorite fast food place is Wendy's because of their baked potatoes.
I love the chili at Wendy's.
Yeah, the chili at Wendy's is so good. The hot sauce in the chili at Wendy's, unmatched as a fast food treat.
I get the loaded chili.
Oh, okay.
I mean, they have other things that they put in there. They have like cheese, onions. They put all this other stuff in there. Unless you ask, you don't know.
No, my favorite. It is the best fast food place. This is a hill I'll die on. If I'm going to get fast food, I'm getting a chili and a baked potato from Wendy's. Nobody stands with me on this matter.
The baked potatoes
especially not Americans. Nobody believes that Wendy's is a good fast food option.
No, I stand with you. I've said the same thing, and people are
livid.
They're out of their. They lose their minds.
It creates a very emotional reaction. People become hysterical when they find out that that's what I think fast food is. Even
baked potatoes are the best.
I'm not getting a burger there, and it's not because I don't eat meat. Like I would kill several animals to get a baked potato and chili. Just to be clear.
No, the baked potato is an elite fast food item.
Yeah.
I'll throw honorable mention out there, KFC or chicken pot pie. I was raving about them with somebody last night.
I didn't know they were doing pies.
They do pot pies. Chicken pot pie, it makes sense for a KFC thing, but they're always so good. I actually think that they should put them in the grocery stores.
Have you been to the Kevin Hart fast food place? It's called Hart House.
Never even heard of such a thing.
So Kevin Hart started a fast food place that is vegan, but it's good. And they have really good dairy-free milkshakes.
Wow.
Randomly.
Where the hell are these?
There's one right near my house in West Hollywood. I think there's a couple locations now.
I haven't seen one in all of my life. Have you heard of these?
Yeah. I drive by one. I live in West Hollywood as well.
Okay,
It's apparently delicious, but also like you can feel your arteries clogging.
Is it the good kind of vegan thing? Because like if it's not made out of like beans or whatever, it's made out of like what, sunflower oil or something like that.
Something like that. I have such a beef with so many vegan places. Nomu, have you heard of Nomu?
No.
Nomu is my enemy, and I've moved Nomu above my enemy list, above Toronto. I'm a hater of Nomu. I went there. They promised me a gluten-free thing. They gave it to me. I could tell on sight it was not gluten-free, the bun, and so I have gluten allergies, and so I was like, I need this. It took so long. They finally get it to me. It was the most. I've never left a review on Google before, but I was like all day afterwards. I was saying to my boyfriend, like, I'm gonna put a Yelp review or a Google review and be like, buyer beware. Like, just go full Karen on Nomu. I'm so mad at them.
How long does an enemy last for you? Lifetime, or is it like?
For me, it's like I have limited spots because I have ADHD, so it's hard to remember all my enemies. And so there's always, I got 2 on the go at pretty much all time. But if you get bumped off that list, you're free. I only have so much hate in my heart.
That's so funny.
Yeah, it's so important to have know your boundaries.
Mikey sent in a thing. We got another video that people are calling the worst home run call ever, and we might have to take this out because Major League Baseball is such fucking cunts about playing clips. Like every other sport doesn't care, but Major League Baseball does care. So we might have to lift this part, but if not,
they want you to have to watch 9 hours to watch a highlight.
We're trying to spread the game here, Major League Baseball. All right, so I mean, let us play whatever. But everyone's saying this has to be. Look at it says on the top. This has to be the worst home run call of all time. I don't think it is at all.
What happened? It goes off the side or something?
No, it's play it and you'll understand. I think.
Well, hello. Okay. Bombs away for Brent Rooker. Man, when he gets a hold of one, he sends it a long ways.
That's it. But I don't think that's bad.
What's the problem? I don't know.
I think it's because it's a woman. People are upset.
Oh, like the announcer did it bad. Like
yes, exactly.
She didn't go goal.
No. Yeah, it's about the broadcast of the call.
She put the broad in broadcast.
So I think that's why people are upset though. But because it wasn't,
I didn't even understand what I was. I thought it was going to be like not a good hit.
Oh no! It was a home run. You thought it was going to be like. They were like, that's a home run, and it clearly wasn't. That's funny.
That's what I thought it was going to be.
Off the wall, you thought it was going to go. Oh, interesting. I'm sorry. No, it was, it's about the, like, excitement of the home. First of all, this woman is broadcasting for the Oakland Athletics, who are an abysmal team at the moment, and it's just
might as well be in the CFL.
It's all, yes, exactly. It's all a dark cloud over that poor franchise at the moment. And I think you hear guys, like, when guys are on there, maybe people don't notice, but guys have been like, and it's up, it's back, and it's gone. Like I've heard like that a million times, and no one's.
You know what it is? It's men don't like when women are not. They don't have gratitude. When women don't make a big deal with gratitude, then it's very triggering.
And of course, this woman, I feel terrible that I can't remember her name off the top of my head. Can you Google that? Because she replaced. This is her first year on the play-by-play call. She's with Dallas Braden, who's doing color.
I think she did a great job.
Jenny Kavner. No, she does a great job.
Jenny Kavner, she is my favorite announcer now.
I've watched her call plenty of games. She does a fantastic job. And lest we forget who the last Oakland Athletics broadcaster was. Do you have that video to remind everybody who the last broadcaster was? It's on the prep sheet. So this was the last Oakland Athletics broadcaster here.
Had a phenomenal day today. League Museum and Arthur Bryant's Barbecue.
Yep, he was fired after that, so that's why she has a job now.
Why did he say that?
No one knows.
Why would he say that?
It was Negro League, and he said that. And poor Dallas Braden's over there like...
I don't even feel comfortable with that, with what he should have said. Like, that's crazy.
No, that's what I've always said, because it's literally called... I have the video game, too, you can play in the Negro League.
I wouldn't.
No, I don't even touch that part of it.
I don't think that's right.
I don't even like saying it. The fact that they make us say it, because it's in the thing that's existing.
I think, you know who would never say that? Jenny Caviar. I think
Jenny Kavner.
She would not say anything. She would lead in and she'd be like, what's up? And then that would be the end. I love her. I think that she should give less enthusiasm as revenge. I think the next home run, I think she should witness the greatest home run in baseball history. And she should be like, like the other news announcer after the trad wife speech.
Yeah.
That's fine.
It's all right. That's hilarious. We have other things. We can stop talking about sports in a second here. We can talk about some news stories. But first, I have to do some ads if you don't.
No problem.
mind.
I'm more of a news guy. I'll have more for the news stuff.
Awesome. I can't wait. Today's Josh Potter Show brought to us by DraftKings. Slot machines are fun and all, but it's time to add a little more excitement. Try the Pick Six, the new fantasy game from DraftKings, an official partner of the NBA. And here's how it works. You can pick between 2 and 6 players and choose if you think they're going to have more or less of a certain stat. So you're doing overs and unders. You know, whether it be rebounds or points or assists or something, you get to pick whether or not they're going to have more or less than the benchmark there. It's a fun game, especially if you like overs and unders. Maybe you think they'll have less than 5 rebounds or more than 3 assists. Make your picks and then watch the game to see if you're right. You'll be playing for a shot at huge cash prizes. I played it the other night during the Timberwolves comeback game against the old Denver Nuggets there. That was a hell of a game, and I got to hit 2 of my 4 players, and boom. I feel like a genius at the end of those things. And it's definitely been, I've been parlaying it into the other aspects of DraftKings, let me tell you that. So once you go to DraftKings, you'll never go back. Download the new DraftKings Pick 6 app now and use code Josh Potter for a shot at huge cash prizes. That's code Josh Potter only on DraftKings Pick 6. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 18 and over in most eligible states. Age varies by jurisdiction. Eligibility restrictions apply. Pick 6 not available in all states, including but not limited to Connecticut and New York. For up-to-date list of states, visit dkng.co/pick6states. Void where prohibited. See terms at pick6.draftkings.com/promos.
Today's Josh Potter Show also brought to us by Rocket Money. How much would you guess you're paying in subscription fees every month? Probably more than you think. Get a handle on your finances with Rocket Money. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so that you can grow your savings. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all of the app's features. The app is so easy to use. It'll show you all your subscriptions in one place, and if you find something you no longer want, Rocket Money can help you cancel it with just a few taps. I actually had to go back to Rocket Money. I cleaned up everything like around the time when Rocket Money started sponsoring the program, and since then I've somehow accumulated more charges on my phone that I am unaware of or somehow lapsed in canceling, and I'm like, what the hell is this? And I had to actually go back and have Rocket Money clean me up again. So keep them around. Just saying.
That's one thing that's actually great about having my Canadian bank accounts frozen is I'm getting emails from all the subscriptions that I didn't realize that I had, and they're like, hey, your payment didn't go through. And I'm like, okay, well, you shouldn't have been taking anything out in the first place. I forgot about you years ago. Joke's on you. Now I can cancel.
Perfect. Or if you don't have that luxury
of having your bank accounts frozen.
Download the Rocket Money app. It's time to start saving that dough. Stop wasting money on things you don't use. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions by going to rocketmoney.com/Potter. That's rocketmoney.com/Potter. rocketmoney.com/Potter. News time. Oh boy. Have you been following the P. Diddy stuff?
Yes, of course.
What do you think about...
I think he's innocent. Imagine. Imagine.
That's the other hot news story.
A war on straight men is what is happening. He beat the shit. I mean, that video is horrible of him beating up Cassie.
Yeah, we don't hotel. have to. We have the link to it, but I was thinking about it, I'm like, they'll probably like take me down as opposed to like ABC News or whoever the hell played it originally. But it is interesting. I thought it was wild that she did hide under the blanket, like out of all the places to hide.
Mean, what are you supposed to do? And P. Diddy's chasing you down naked in the hallway. You hide wherever you can.
Is that a statement to how dumb P. Diddy is? He's like, maybe.
Where'd she go?
Yeah, exactly.
Where'd she go?
Yeah, it's like when a child is using like
Peekaboo.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe P. Diddy was like, I lost her. I have no idea where she is. There's another thing going on in our country. I don't know if you're aware. Maybe you have this in Canada. I don't know how much problematic it is, but semen terrorism is a thing that we discuss on.
Is that the
program.
thing where the doctors will use their own semen when girls?
That's a version of it, I'm sure, but it's mostly just any sort of. The Japanese actually created this term, and because
shout out to the Japanese,
always on the forefront of everything semen. But
baseball too. There's that big baseball guy, that Japanese baseball guy,
Shohei Ohtani. Yes,
yeah. Bring it. Look at me, knowing about Shohei.
And now other people have come in, Yoshinobu Yamamoto and Imaga Shinoda.
There was a big one in the Mariners. Started with a Y.
Oh, Ichiro.
That's what I meant. That's so funny.
Is that who I'm thinking of? Or am I
Ichiro? Yeah, because I had a Mariners jersey because when I was living in Vancouver, I found one when I was thrift shopping, and it was a little boy's husky size, and it fit me so nice. And I was like, okay, I'm a Mariners fan because of this.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, what it is mostly any sort of unwanted exposure to semen, whether it be a guy on a train shooting it onto a lady, or
no, we have this in Canada as well.
Okay, yes, no, we've had a lot.
We're hoping to get rid of it.
Yes, we're trying to raise awareness of it here on the show so that we can eradicate it. Obviously, have you ever been a victim?
Yeah. I'm a female comedian.
That's true. In Toronto, no less. You were there at one point, right?
I was never a Toronto comic.
Oh, I see.
That's why I'm such a hater.
Yeah. But you've gone to Toronto to perform. I didn't know if perhaps...
there's a lot of unwanted semen in my history. In my history.
Well, we have another grocery store instance. This from Mike. I mean, this article was sent in to me by 24 people. I can't possibly give a shot.
You want to be the guy that they're like, who's going to want to see this?
They do. This is what's happening. I don't know if it's for the better or worse of the show. It's seemingly the worst, probably.
They're like, who's going to love this article?
Yes. No, I mean, I get tagged in semen-related stories. I'm probably on the forefront of this as far as like raising awareness and in terms of like discussing it. Mikey Schaff, Luke Rutz, Francis, Guyad George, all these people and more sent this article to me. A man is being booked in the DeKalb County Jail on sexual battery and public indecency charges after being accused of exposing himself and assaulting a shopper at a Whole Foods market in Chambly.
Oh, at Whole Foods too. You think you're safe at Whole Foods?
At Whole Foods, you would think, but I want to say, out of all the grocery stores that we have come across with semen terror, Whole Foods is, I think, number one.
No.
So I mean, I'm not trying to damage the reputation of Whole Foods here, but it seems to be a target is all I'm saying.
Seems to be an ongoing issue they're having.
Yes, exactly. Troy Caliste,
and
28.
You know what? Maybe it's just more reported at Whole Foods because that's the kind of person that has contact with the police.
Interesting. Although someone out there probably has done a tally. We've had a lot of Walmart, obviously, but that one's less shocking.
That's what I would imagine.
Yeah, so you're saying in Walmart it's happening like maybe even on the daily.
I think ladies that are at Whole Foods have 911 dialed on their phone at all times.
Yeah, and at Walmart it's just like, I saw another penis. It's like riding the subway.
No, you know what you're getting if you go to Walmart at least.
Right. As opposed to Whole
You're like,
Foods.
I was in the inflatable section.
As opposed to like Whole Foods where it's like, riding the subway versus like being in your car or something. Like, this man exposed himself in my Hyundai.
Exactly. It's like more, and they're like, and his semen wasn't organic. Like, it's so many more problems with it.
I'm sure this semen wasn't organic though. I mean, we have the did you pull up the man's pic? There it is right there. There was this. Okay, so Dr. Sabine Lavelle, a plastic surgeon, said she had finished her Pilates class and dropped into the store to pick up groceries for her family when she bent down to get some chips.
I mean, that's your mistake right there. You're going to bend down after a Pilates class when you're looking so sexy.
Yeah, with those. You said it, not me. But no, she was bending over to. I mean, who's getting chips off the bottom shelf? I don't know the layout of Whole Foods, I guess. But what kind of chips?
I think they put bad stuff really high and really low, and then the middle's all apples and kale is the eyesight level. That's how they help you.
All the healthy stuff's in the eye level. Yeah. When she bent down to get some chips, she felt something on her back. What happened next shook her to the core.
On her back. back. Oh, that's so gross.
How does he time it so well? That's what I want to know. At first, I thought someone spilled coffee on me, but then I turned around and it was a man zip up his pants. With context clues, I realized what happened. Again, the timing is impeccable. How long was she bent over there to pick up her chips?
No, he had it ready. He was waiting for someone to bend over. He put all the good chips on the bottom.
It was his.
He set it up.
He set it up.
I don't like this story.
No one does.
I said I was into the news. This isn't the kind of news that's coming across my desk. Pardon me, but this is terrible news story.
The woman screamed to get attention of other shoppers and yelled and chased after the man. Well, he was caught, so police say they have security camera footage of the
catching
incident.
a man who just came is one of the easiest. If you can't catch a man that just come, they're laying down. They're so slow. That's like the easiest chase of all history. If you can't catch a man that just come, then you shouldn't be on the police force. Some of the slowest people on earth.
That's a great point. Do you remember? I won't, because I did have another story of semen terrorism, but I'll pass it. I'll pass it.
No, we'll glaze over it. Glaze.
Yeah. I can. This one was DRP, who is a woman, loves sending in semen terror stories.
DRP like derp.
It's DEE and then ARPE, but it sounds like letters too. DRP.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's deliberate. I don't know. Not trying to dox. The Santa Rosa Police Department arrested Joseph Michael Simmons for allegedly. Now this one's a little bit better. This man, Michael Simmons, allegedly smeared semen on a woman's vehicle.
That's not better.
It's not on the woman. She was protected by the vehicle at least. But where did he just have it in his hand?
I
and
don't like this.
You know, I don't know what he was. It was a sexually motivated behavior by the male,
I would imagine
unknown to her. Yes, of course.
I would imagine that it was a sexually motivated.
But it also could be an anger one, right? Like I'm gonna smear my. It's like throwing your shit at like if you're a monkey or something. Right?
I suppose. I suppose we can't rule out anger. That's
right.
True. I take back my comment.
Yeah. Anger could have been a combination of the two.
You're right.
She returned to her vehicle and noticed her driver's side door handle was coated in what she believed to be the bodily fluid. Now, would you know it was? I would think it was bird shit or something. You know what I mean?
You would know.
You go straight to semen.
Women's intuition.
That's what I always wondered. What are the signs? Is it like a smell?
No, I can sense semen stains from a mile away. A kilometer away.
A kilometer.
I've got to stand with my country.
That's even longer too, isn't it, than a mile?
Not sure.
Not sure.
Couldn't tell you.
I think it might be. As she looked around, she saw a Caucasian adult man nearby recording her reaction on his phone before fleeing the area. That's how you get
fleeing.
Caught.
Still, I bet slow.
Yeah. Although his could have been old semen. You know what I mean? He could have been.
Oh, he had it in a Ziploc bag.
Yeah, ready. He brought some in a cup.
He's like, wait till somebody pisses me off. They're about to get a real
Or
smear.
wait till he sees a real sexy lady get out of her car. He's like, I'm going to go put that on her car.
On her car, yeah.
During the investigation, officers searched his vehicle and located a used condom. Based on additional information they learned during their investigation, officers determined Simmons likely deposited ejaculate on the woman's vehicle and waited in the area to observe her reaction. So he's got many charges.
Do we know what kind of car it was?
They did not say what kind of car.
I bet it was a sexy car. Like a red car.
Like a red car. The car. Do you think maybe it had nothing to do with the woman and it was all
but it was a sexy car.
You ever see
maybe it was a convertible topless?
People
topless?
That's
cars,
sexy. Right? Yeah, topless. I would imagine the semen would have gotten inside though if that was the case. If it was topless.
And maybe he didn't want to get the car pregnant.
Yes, it was like a bukkake on the car. Okay, I see. People have fucked cars before. Or
I remember that Strange Addiction show. The big one was a woman or man probably that fucked his car.
Yes, it was a man, I think.
Yeah.
There was a woman who was in love with a Ferris wheel.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense.
Which was...
I do feel like a man would fuck
majestic.
a car and a woman would be in love with a Ferris wheel.
Yes, or a merry-go-round or something.
Yeah, something silly.
Yes, exactly.
Ladies are so silly.
Yeah, and a man's gonna fuck a car.
Yeah.
What'd you pull up there? You're just like watching a car ad?
It's the episode of My Strange Addiction.
Oh, we don't need to see that. Get us pulled off of YouTube for...
You guys just have no rights here, huh? You can't show anything.
You can't show anything on YouTube.
For a clip show, you really can't.
No, it's I just give a warning out to Bobby who's going to be editing.
Have you been getting a lot of cease and desist?
Oh, they come after you. They try to take your money away. It's terrible.
No.
It's awful. Oh, we got a guy, Brandon in Halifax, who sends in articles. This one is from Canada.
I lived in Halifax. I was a writer on a show called 22 Minutes.
Oh, wow.
For 3 years, so I had to live in Halifax.
My grandfather's from Halifax.
Okay.
Yes. Nova Scotia, right?
Yeah, does he speak French?
No, he's dead, but he definitely didn't speak French.
Okay. That's why he died.
Yeah. He like moved here when he was a child. So he was like I think it was the 20s. And so he was like...
The 2020s?
The 19s.
I don't know how old you are.
Yeah, right. I mean, I could be. That would be really wild if it was the 1820s.
My grandpa wasn't even alive in the 2020s.
No, nobody's was.
No.
They all died in the 2020s.
That was a tough time for grandpas around the world.
Yeah, exactly. Grandpas didn't make it through that year. RCMP, I'm not sure what that is.
That's the Canadian Police Force.
Oh, okay. Is that like a Mountie?
Royal Canadian Mounted Police.
Oh, okay.
In fact, my grandma last week, so when my accounts got frozen, my mom and my grandma both got scammed also on the same day. I'm lumping mine into, I got scammed instead of I didn't pay my taxes. Yeah. But my grandma went to the store fully and was buying a bunch of gift cards for the RCMP. It was like, I don't remember if it was like a phone scam or an email scam.
Oh,
but she fully went and thought that she had to buy all these gift cards for the RCMP. And then because she's never bought a gift card in her life, it was her bank that like didn't let her check out. And that gave her the clarity she needed. That was like, maybe I'm being scammed. My mom got scammed because she bought a plane ticket on a website, like a discount plane website, just the ticket never came. And so the three of us the same day all had no funds.
Like, I got scammed by the government.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
It's so wild. Like, I'd like to think I'm somewhat intelligent. I know I'm not a smart person, but I did the gift card scam.
Who did you buy gift cards for?
It was, okay, so what it was, my father was trying to set up a PayPal account. And he was having a hard time, and I was trying to set it up for him. And it wouldn't let him in or something. He was frustrated. So I Googled customer service for PayPal, and I clicked the first number, and it wasn't their actual number.
So you gave the login info?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, I called it. Well, I didn't give my log. They go, we can't get your login info, but like they said, for security reasons, we can't get your login info. So you need to go buy a gift card. And I said it on the phone. I go, I know this is a scam, but I'm gonna do it because I want to hear your voice after you fuck me up. Like I said something like that, and then I went and did it.
You still did it?
Yes. And I go, I knew it was a scam, and the guy goes it's not a scam. I'm telling you, it's not a scam. I go, I wanted to hear your voice. You
know what it feels like? It feels like when you're in the middle of a bad dream and you're saying to the monster, "You're just in a dream," and then it's no, I'm not.
No, it's like I was in a relationship and I was I know you cheated. I know it, but they were like, no, I didn't. And I was like, I have to cut myself and see proof or whatever, catch you or whatever. I don't know. It was very, I'm too trusting, my mom says, but nevertheless.
Is that your mom or is that the PayPal people again that you're calling?
Yeah, right.
She's like, you're too trusting. Send me gift cards to this address.
Yeah. Well, the RCMP say a man has been charged under the Traffic Safety Act after a traffic stop took place in the parking lot of a local McDonald's that, despite online claims, was not conducted in the drive-thru. An individual was observed driving a vehicle on a public roadway while using a cell phone, RCMP said in a release. A combined traffic services Saskatchewan officer initiated a traffic stop with the individual. The individual then pulled into the McDonald's parking lot where the traffic violation was issued. So basically this guy was using his cell phone in the parking lot of McDonald's. Mm-hmm. And the cop pulled him over. So now they're saying,
so wait, he jerked off in the car? What happened?
No, exactly. All he did was use his cell phone in the parking lot.
So what's the crime?
I guess using your phone while driving. Because they offered him a distracted driving ticket.
That's the perfect time to use your phone.
Exactly. So people are saying the Canadian cops are too bored. That's the outcry of
Yeah, that's usually what it is. Because we don't have gun violence, and so they're just trying to find guys answering their phone.
That's exactly what this article said. They're the lack of guns is creating a bored RCMP.
They're bored, yeah.
What's it like to have no gun violence?
It's boring.
It's what a snooze, right? People out here using
You're like,
knives.
oh no, I'm going to get cummed on again.
That's yeah. I didn't let
Shots fired.
Shots fired in a different capacity.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Silly. That's a silly one.
That is a silly one. Well, I'm sorry we had so many cum stories for you.
That's okay.
I appreciate you grinning and bearing it.
No
though.
problem.
Please plug everything and anything.
So I'll be at the Limestone. I'm headlining the Limestone Comedy Festival in Bloomington, Indiana. I will be headlining the Comedy Fort in Fort Collins, and I will be in Nashville as well pretty soon. And I will be visiting Vancouver for a couple of days to go get my ADHD meds in between all of that.
And unfreeze your bank accounts.
And oh my gosh, hopefully.
Or have you written it off as gone?
No, they took all the money in the accounts, and I still owe more than that. And so, but I can't receive transfers to this account. Please keep the music going while I go.
Course.
I'm like, what? I'm riffing. I'm doing freestyle. I was like, if you're not letting money get sent to this account, how am I supposed to pay it off? I just don't even understand. I want this to be like, you know how rappers use people's voicemail? And I wish somebody would use me explaining me and my family's many scams that we got caught in.
Talking shit to the Canadian government.
Yeah.
Well, where can people buy tickets? Do you have a place they can go?
Yeah, my Instagram link tree,
Perfect.
Sophbuds, SOPHBUDS. All tickets are available on there. And if you like clips, you can follow me as well.
Well, I appreciate you coming on the show. You're very funny.
My pleasure. You're funny.
Thank you so much. And by the way, I'm going to be at the DC Improv on Thursday of this week after this episode comes out. So pleased to be coming out to the DC Improv May 30th. May 31st, Emmaus, Pennsylvania, the Emmaus Theater with Tim Butterly. It's going to be a blast. I'm so happy he's coming to open things up.
Butterly, that's a
Do you know Tim Butterly?
No, but it sounds like my last name, sort of. Anybody? There was also one of the guys like Buttkiss or whatever. What's the guy's last
Harrison
name?
Butker.
Yeah, Butker, Butterly, Buttle. We got quite a fun.
You've got D's though, and they've got T's.
That's true.
So I mean,
people always accuse me of having T's though.
I hope you come out to both those shows in May, and then in June we've got June what the hell is it? June 14th and 15th, the Riot Comedy Club. Start buying tickets to that. I have to start promoting it a little more. Ooh, what happened?
It's the Riot.
Oh, nice.
My boyfriend just did the Riot Festival, and he got this bag, and I took it right away. It's the perfect bag.
Well, you better give me a fucking bag when I come there, too, all right?
This is literally the most perfect bag I've ever had.
I think it looks nice. So go to thejoshpotter.com, thejoshpotter.com, buy tickets, or you can just go to the links in the description of this here episode. And we will see you next week on the program, next Wednesday. Love you very much.
Yay,
Bye.
love you.
Coming to you live and direct with the Roach. We shotgun the beers, I got time for a toast. It's the only place I get my sports like for real, son. He taught us nobody's more sus than Russell Wilson.
Here's the deal, son. Won't find us in Walmart. Josh Potter, keep it frank, kinda like a ballpark. It wasn't nothing talking all that jism. Turns out there's a lot of semen terrorism.
Now it's time we hit him. Bringing Votto to the plate. Roachy, your wards with Chase O'Donnell the Great. Let me stop for a second, cause it's Ask Marty time. Cause it's idiocy, you know I cannot abide.
Not a fan of these guys, gonna damage the rise. Worse than the host known as the Roach. Leave an idiot woman standing on the side, or looking like she just tripped into a moat.
I'ma kill this Henny beat like murder. Been in more studios than most have ever heard of. Pleased to be listening, hit that like and subscribe. So many Bills hats got the mafia vibe.
A lot to describe like a Roach reporter. Teacher on OF, don't report her. Trying to live life with my mannequin wife and my mannequin kids have got my mannequin right.
Been a fan of this guy since the Roach Motel. Couple 100 weeks in, still funny as hell. From the tit cups to back sis and blind eyes, Potter has one of the best shows of all time.
Now watch this drive. Pop a couple tall cans with the Roach King and caught the vibe. Ready to pour more, scurry out the floorboards, hit like, comment, and subscribe.